It was a warm summer evening, and the sun was slowly setting over the small town of Willowdale. The residents were going about their usual business, enjoying the last rays of sunshine before retiring to their homes for the night. Little did they know that a shadow was lurking in their midst, a shadow that would soon bring terror and chaos to their peaceful community. The killer had been on the loose for months, and no one knew who he was or where he would strike next. His victims were random, and the murders seemed to have no pattern. Some said he was a deranged psychopath, while others thought he was a cold and calculating serial killer. Regardless of who he was, he had struck fear into the hearts of everyone in Willowdale. Detective Jack Monroe had been assigned to the case, and he had been working tirelessly to catch the killer. He had pored over evidence, interviewed witnesses, and chased down every lead. But the killer always seemed to be one step ahead of him, leaving no trace behind and disappearing into the shadows. One night, Jack was walking back to his car after a long day at the station when he felt a cold chill run down his spine. He turned around and saw a shadowy figure lurking in the alleyway behind him. Before he could react, the figure darted out of the shadows and lunged at him with a knife. Jack was able to dodge the attack and draw his gun, but the killer was quick, and he vanished into the night before Jack could get a clear shot. He was left standing alone in the alleyway, his heart pounding in his chest. Over the next few weeks, the killer continued his reign of terror, leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. Jack was working around the clock, desperate to catch the killer before he struck again. He was beginning to feel like he was fighting a losing battle when he received a tip that led him to a small cabin in the woods outside of town. Jack and his team raced to the cabin, and as they approached, they saw a shadowy figure fleeing into the woods. They pursued him, and after a tense standoff, they were able to apprehend the killer. As the killer was led away in handcuffs, Jack felt a sense of relief wash over him. The shadow that had been haunting him and the residents of Willowdale had finally been brought to justice. But as he looked back at the cabin, he couldn't help but feel a chill run down his spine. The killer's shadow had been cast over the town, and he knew that it would take a long time for the residents of Willowdale to feel safe again. The moral of the story is that evil can cast a long shadow, but justice and perseverance can prevail in the end. The killer's reign of terror had cast a shadow over the town, leaving everyone in fear and uncertainty. However, Detective Jack Monroe refused to give up, even when it seemed like he was fighting a losing battle. His dedication and hard work eventually paid off, leading to the capture and conviction of the killer. This story shows that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope for justice and that even the smallest clues can lead to the solution of a case. It also highlights the importance of perseverance and determination in the face of adversity. In the end, justice prevailed, and the shadow cast by the killer was lifted, bringing peace and safety back to the town of Willowdale.